Good morning, it's day 2 and I am reading The Dreamers, and like yesterday I decided to match my outfit to the book and I actually made a little effort today and put some makeup on, so I had a little bit of fun trying to make my eyes look similar. I'm on page 20 of Dreamers and I'm enjoying it so far. The way it's written is very easy to read, so I think this is a good readathon book. It's all about pandemics, and I love the way it started. It said, "It's an old idea, a poison in the ether, a danger carried in by the wind." I went to school for biology, and I love biology and learning about science, but I've always thought that the concept of ether and that period of history before air and oxygen was understood. I think it's fascinating, and so I can tell already that I like the way this author thinks, so this should be a fun read.
I really love the way she writes, because I love the way she words things. This land is prone to shaking. These hills are liable to slide, and this forest is so fertile for fire that the cautious few among them keep their family photos packed in duffel bags at their front door in case of the sudden need to flee. I mean, this is such a pretty way of saying, earthquakes happen, mudslides happen, and there's forest fires. I'm really enjoying the way she writes. Okay, here's my breakfast. Mom is so adorable. She read The Dreamers first, and so she put my coffee into this cup this morning, and she was like, "This is perfect because the writer was born and raised in San Diego, so this is from the world-famous San Diego Zoo, and it's got some pretty colors on it, like my book." A while back, I made some homemade bread pudding, which has like pecans, and I think I used up like some old bread and then some yellow cake mix we had. So this is a breakfast of champions, obviously. This will go great with my coffee.
So there's this one really short chapter, I'm at chapter 16 now, that is basically talking about how this sickness that's going around could be a government-imposed hoax, and that maybe even this little town doesn't even exist, and it just talks about people around the nation saying, you're being naive, this isn't real. It reminds me very much of the situation we are in here in the US, which just goes to show that we as humans, are we just conditioned to behave this way in the face of an emergency? Because it sure is very reminiscent of what we hear in the media and from people we know and care about now during this current pandemic. So just thought I'd put that out there because it's kind of funny to me. Okay, so I'm on chapter 35, about 199 pages in, so I'm doing pretty good. I was just thinking, all of a sudden, this kind of reminded me of Sleeping Beauty, where the fairies put the whole kingdom to sleep while Sleeping Beauty is asleep. It has that feel. People are just starting to fall asleep left and right, and it kind of feels like all of a sudden everybody will be asleep, and then there'll be nobody there, just a whole bunch of sleeping bodies. At least that's what it feels like. We were having to do a little bit of car maneuvering and stuff. One of the cars has to go in the shop, and wandering around. I'm not quite done yet. Mom is getting some groceries while we sit here. I'm going to read some more of my book. Got some things to do today. Still have to do my 30 minutes of exercise, and I'd like to edit this and get it posted, so fingers crossed I can get everything done. I listened to Gulliver Travels a little bit on the way to the mechanic to drop off the car, so at least I got to listen to a little bit of that. There's at one point he's teasing about how people in these high offices get into power, and they get into power by doing these high jumps. So Lilliputians, you don't have to be smart, you don't have to be educated, you don't have to be wealthy to get these high powers, you just have to be a very good jumper. He's making fun of how some of the British nobles became officials in sort of a way that's ridiculous. It's not based on their abilities or their level of intelligence. It's based on something stupid as jumping higher than the other guys. Life's a little easier during reading rush when you have someone tell you what to do. So I'm going to make this lemon herb shrimp and orzo. Should only take about 30 minutes. And let's do it. Okay, so I finally finished The Dreamers with all our running around. It's kind of late. It's almost 11 o'clock now, but I finished, let's see, 299 pages worth today. How I felt about the book, I think this is one of those books that I'm going to have to think about a little bit. Towards the end, it starts getting very philosophical, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but then I need to do some thinking. I plan on doing a wrap-up after Reading Rush is over and talking about the books more in depth and giving my ratings and whatnot, and I think that'll be appropriate because I do need to figure out how I feel about The Dreamers. I'm not quite sure yet. Second book down. I'm doing pretty good. See you tomorrow. Bye.